CountryBoyz, episode 6. We're 6 countries in. We're got 191 left, and we're doing it. We're powering through it.
We're getting through them.
I'm your host, Jeff. I'm here with the co-host, Matt.
What's up, guys?
We got Justin, our audio producer, making it sound good.
Hey.
And then we got Jason.
Hey, guys.
Making it look good and switching the cameras around. So we've been around the world. We still haven't been to one continent. We're saving it. All right. We're going to save the one that has the least amount of countries. We're saving it. So right now we're going to Alaska, the best continent in the world. No, we're going back to Europe and we're going to
that Florida geography. I blame the teachers, not Matt.
Yeah.
That great teacher. What are you talking about?
He found the Gambia last time.
He did find the Gambia.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
He's intelligent. So
we're going to San Marino. What do you guys know about San Marino?
Not shit.
He was in Ace Ventura.
Yeah?
What?
Yeah.
He was a
played for
great
the Miami
quarterback.
Dolphins.
St. Marino. So
What a corny ass joke, Justin. I was like, what?
Laying there. I just had to...
it's got to take a moment to process it. But yeah, so San Marino, we're back in Europe, and this is one of the littlest. It's actually smaller than Liechtenstein. We already did Liechtenstein, and we'll kind of get into a little bit of their not feud, but something with those two countries, bringing it back together. But fifth smallest country in the world. It's 24 square miles. Tiny. It's about the size of like East Austin, I guess. I don't know what to compare it to, but it's tiny. Population 33,000. I think Liechtenstein was like 38,000, so
Yeah.
kind of similar. Fifth smallest in the world. So the thing about San Marino, and if you're wondering like geography wise, it's basically a city state in the middle of Italy. So it's surrounded by Italy. They speak Italian. They're basically Italian. All these things were like, don't call them Italian. It's like,
They're
okay.
Italian.
They're Italian. It's like calling the Vatican, like, well, it's not Italy. Yeah. Still kind of is. But this place is actually the oldest sovereign country in the world.
This is the oldest.
The oldest. And it was started by St. Marinus in 301.
Oh, wow.
And we'll get into the story about it, but yeah, started in 301. They speak Italian. They're not a member of the EU. They're kind of like a neutral. They're neutral with everything, but they still take the euro. Somehow, this place kind of maintained its own sovereignty through, like, Italy's one of the most invaded places ever. Everyone's invaded Italy, but somehow San Marino, since 301, they've kind of kept their own. And that's I think the most crazy part about this place. They've kept their own. They've been San Marinians or whatever they call them for a long time. And so just to kind of get into the history. So San Marinus, I don't know. I guess that's his name. So he was from Croatia. He fled there. So back in 301 when being a Christian was not cool.
Right.
He fled Croatia because he was a Christian.
Sorry.
And then he was somewhere in Italy, like along the coast. Okay, I'm hiding out. And his estranged wife was like, oh, that's St. Marinus. Where's my fucking child support at? And so he fled there, and then he moved to like the mountains. And apparently he was hiding out in these mountains. Whoever owned those mountains, some noblewoman had a diseased child. He cured the child, and she was like, all right, take the mountain. You got it. And then since then, it's kind of been a haven for refugees and people hiding out.
Interesting. Okay.
For people avoiding child support.
Yeah. So
But they're child healers.
So Matt's gonna have to move there in a couple years once he has these baby
No
mamas coming out of the
children.
Yeah.
No children.
Exactly, that you know of.
No.
Once they start coming out of the closet, coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Hey, by the way, Matt might be there."
No children. No
We don't
children.
know, but
You
Yeah.
didn't swim in the fertility water.
I did not. I did not
So it
go to
doesn't
the
make
Gator
sense
Island,
that he could have
Crocodile Island.
yeah. If you saw our last episode about the Gambia, that'll make a little more
It's
sense.
like the Marvel universe. You need to watch All the episodes. We're
Nothing
shit
makes
we're
sense.
talking about. Maybe
Well-
even hang out with us at a barbecue.
You can't just watch Country
Talk
Boys.
to our friend.
You can't just pop in on episode 6 and be like, "Oh, San Marino, I'm going to learn something." No, you got to start from Nauru and go through it all, and then by now you'll okay. I get these Country Boys and what they're up to. But look, if you're just
Half of
jumping
the
in now,
jokes.
you gotta go back to the basics.
Binge watch.
Yeah, you gotta binge this shit, and then it'll all start clicking. All right, so it's a little tiny country surrounded by Italy. It's in the middle of Italy. It's basically like a mountain that has a little bit of territory. So Italy, before it was unified, it was a bunch of these little like city states.
Mhm.
They unified it in the 1800s, and I guess the guy who Garibaldi, the guy who kind of like unified Italy, he spent some time hiding out in San Marino. So maybe he had some baby mamas, and he was like, "Shit, before I unify this place, I gotta go to San Marino. That's the safe haven." So he went there. So when he and his group or whoever unified Italy, he kind of he unified the whole country, and then he was like, "San Marino, you know what? You're all right. You kind of been your own thing since 301.
Keep doing your own thing.
Keep doing you."
Till 3001.
Yeah, you were good to me.
And the crazy part though is everybody who's invaded Italy has always kind of been like, "You know what, San Marino, you do you, be your own thing." Nobody's really felt the need to integrate these guys, and so they've just been their own country. That's basically a city in Italy, but it's not. So
Sounds sweet.
yeah, so they're very resilient people over here. But yeah, so we said Garibaldi, he kind of like probably the main guy why they're not part of Italy, but also Napoleon. He invaded Italy, took over the whole country, and he
Didn't touch San Marino.
was like, "All right, San Marino, you be you." The Austrian-Hungarian Empire, fascist Italy. A lot of these conquerors were just, "All right, keep doing it."
Had a good offensive line.
I think it's just out of respect.
I think it's out of respect, and I think they kind of represent, like, everybody likes kind of the underdog of like, "All right, you're doing your own thing," and that's just what they've always represented. And I think they've just gotten lucky, honestly.
There's a respect for the baby daddy haven.
They want to
Yeah.
make sure it's there for them.
Everybody who's
all-
invading is like,
This is the Italians we're talking
"Hey, I got some baby mamas. I feel you."
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, it's crazy that they haven't been integrated, but they keep getting passes, and they keep sliding by, and you know what? They're their own country, and unlike some of the other like smaller European, like we talked about Liechtenstein, Monaco. It's kind of like these tax haven kind of like loophole countries. San Marino is kind of just more of like, hey, we've just been doing it this way since 301, and nobody's fucked with us.
Right.
Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, so they're very into being San Marinian or some
Like a pride.
Submarinian, but yeah, I think they do represent that. But when you go there, so it's kind of like a big mountain. They have 3 towers, and it's like a fortified. It's like a medieval city, basically.
Right.
So on this mountain, there's 3 towers. There's the Guaiata, the Cesta, and the Montale, which are all on top of Mount Titano or Tiano.
It's like those towers we
Titano.
saw over in Tuscany. Like those.
Kind of, but
Talking about
it's
that?
just like a big mountain with 3 towers, and it's just a big base that's
Gotcha. Okay.
like
Getting the picture.
don't try to invade us. I mean, I'm sure you probably could
Snipe
easily
their
invade
ass
this place,
from the
but everybody who's invades is just kind of like whatever.
tower.
There's not. I don't know. If they would have done it by now, had it been
I feel like
a desirable place.
It's like Risk, though. You know, you're trying to get this continent bonus, and you're like, whatever. It's like a city. Like, move on. We got other places to
Yeah.
conquer. Like, they don't care.
It's only the 1 pointer
Yeah,
or
just
whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Like, I'm trying to get
Not
more
worth
troops
it.
next turn. Let's go. We can't. Once they move there, then we can only move 3
We should
troops
play some
out.
Risk. I haven't
Yeah,
played Risk
So-
in
we should
forever.
play. I mean, you probably could be, but yeah.
I probably would. I haven't played in forever.
After this,
I don't know. It's
Just
really
played the
random.
video game version,
Let's go
honestly.
play Drinking Rules Risk, Country Boy style.
And then
Yeah.
we're doing racquetball.
Wall ball.
Yeah.
Wall ball with a racquetball.
Every time you invade a country, you have to like say a fact about it or something, or talk about it.
Oh, all right.
No, we'll have our own CountryBoyz board game. Just once it gets bigger, then
big.
it'll be like Risk, but we'll throw in some facts from the show.
It'll be like holes for shots in the board to go. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
It'll basically just be like shot checkers, but
But with a couple
with
facts.
like a map on the bottom. So they play by their own rules here. They've been doing it forever. They just say, look, we've been playing by our own rules, and no one really checks them.
You don't like it?
You don't like it? Do something.
Get
And people
out.
are like,
You're gonna be paying child
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
and so they have their own calendar. And
Nice.
they're like their New Year's is September 3rd, which is like September 3rd is like their New Year's Eve. And that's like their Independence Day, I guess, or their Republic Day. But they also have the regular calendar. So they have 2 New Year's here.
Was it like a
Damn.
365? Even the one
2
that starts on September
Thanksgivings.
3rd?
2 Christmas.
Yeah, but like their day 1 of their calendar is September 4th.
Thanksgiving doesn't exist in Italy.
So the calendar days are the same,
Yeah,
but that's just when they start their.
that's just when they started.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So like regular New Year's for them is like a couple months in.
And then
Is that how China?
So they're in
China has a
2022
different
right now.
calendar, right?
if you were Chinese and
Yeah.
went there, you'd have
Future.
3
Yeah,
New
Give me China.
they're 2022. It's a whole
I mean,
new.
You're going to jail for a long time.
Straight to jail.
Once they unliberate Austin. That's going to be in China prison.
They have one of the oldest like democracies, and
Okay.
their structure of their politics. They have 2 presidents. So they have 2 presidents serving at the same time, and this is how they've been doing it for years. They have 2 presidents at the same time who serve 6-month max limits.
Wow.
So it's like
They have a vote
It's
every
like
6 months.
constant
every 6
election.
months they vote, and every 6 months there's 2 new presidents.
You can't get reelected.
What's the campaign?
I don't think you
cycle?
can get reelected.
Like, are you like getting your campaign started as soon as the other guy gets inaugurated?
Yeah, I think you get in there, and it's like they give everybody a shot to be president.
That's got to be fairly conservative democracy then. I mean, in the sense that not a lot can change because there's so much turnover.
Or a lot can change very quickly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
you
just
know
don't
what?
think there's a lot to change because you're in like a castle basically.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
at the same time, it's kind of a cool concept. It works probably for them. It's super tiny, but yeah, if a guy's doing a good job, then you're like, get out of here.
Right.
There's no way if they do have a good president, let's just say.
Yeah, you don't impeach him because it's going to take 6 months to get through that process anyway. You just let the next
You just
guy
say-
put it in.
But it's also it gives like any Joe Schmo can like, all right, you're in president now. You got to run the
give him a
show.
shot. Give him
But-
6 months.
How
So-
do you become a citizen?
Well, so you
President Matt.
Come
I mean,
on.
I think you got to
You all
marry
wanna see
in.
it.
But,
Matt, he'll do it.
No, but the interesting thing with this
No
president,
child support.
uh,
Keep that going.
as a president, you get a car, you get, benefits while you're in president. You basically can control the country, but the second that you're thrown out, you got to walk home and you get no future benefits. So it's not like here we're like, oh, you're a president like Bill Clinton, like you get. I think presidents get like $200,000 a year
Something
as their
like that.
salary,
And
like
Secret Service if
for
they want it.
Secret
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah, I get it for life.
You get cut off. They tell you to walk home. They're like, walk home from the
Go get a
palace.
job.
You can literally kick your
Literally,
ass out.
you got to walk home. All your benefits lost. No future benefits. You're out on the street. So-
That's awesome. Wait, so how does the 2 president system work? Like, does one have more power or veto power?
I think they
Like,
gotta
they have to
agree or-
on something?
Yeah, I think they just have to agree.
Okay.
And then the other thing, so this sounds like the card game asshole. As your president, everybody, including your friends, must refer to you as your excellency,
Nice.
or you can be in prison for up to 3
Or they
years.
have to drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why.
Or
So-
drink.
It's just like the game
Drink.
asshole.
Exactly
prison.
why I'm becoming a citizen.
I'll drink.
Like you're president for 6 months, you can make anybody do anything, and then after 6 months, it's like, get the fuck out of here, walk home.
I mean,
You're done.
In the UK, they have like a similar thing, right? when you're not prime minister, you have to like leave the prime minister's house. You have to walk out, so it's a whole.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that, but this you got to walk home. So you, like, and again, it's not a big country, but you could be, you know, your house could be 5 miles away, and they're saying, "Go, get out,
Yeah.
you're done," even if you did a good job.
Yeah.
So
Your wife's not going to pick you up because you owe her money.
yeah, because you're evading her. She lives in Italy somewhere on the coast. You're here for hiding. So yeah, so that's kind of a, I don't know. I've never heard of a 2-president system, B 6-month limit where you're just, you know, anybody can serve, and then you have your moment of glory, and then it's like, all right,
Anybody can serve. Is there qualifications for how long you got to be a San Marino resident?
Well, I mean, you just have to be a San Marino resident.
I mean, how do you become a San Marino
You
resident?
look into that in your own.
You got to
time.
marry
I'm
somebody.
trying to figure this out. Jeff should have done that research
You
before
should.
this show.
You really should.
He
This,
should have known I was going to ask.
this whole show is about how we can get Matt through loopholes, trying to find something in different countries. We went to
Okay,
St.
yeah, that
Kitts.
sounds about
Okay,
right.
you can become a resident there. You could get out of like, you know, the U.S. tax. Went to Liechtenstein. He wants to marry a princess and become royalty. This place, he wants to evade some maybe future baby mamas when, you know,
Current
the kids
ones.
get the
Yeah,
right
just
age.
current ones
Current ones.
that I don't know I have.
Yeah, because when they see this hit show, you're done.
So, Abraham Lincoln is an honorary citizen there. So, I think when Lincoln was in power, they were like, we like what you're doing with this like democracy thing. Because these guys, I mean, they've been doing it a long time. So, I think they kind of saw what Lincoln was doing, and they're like, we approve. Respect. So, and actually, I'm related to Abraham Lincoln's wife. So, maybe I might be able to get some citizenship through some sort of lineage loophole. And then
Get mad in.
I could get Matt in.
See about the rest.
And then we're starting my campaign.
And also another interesting thing. So since they've kind of been a haven for people, during World War II, they actually had 100,000 Jews were like refugees there who were protected, even through fascist Italy.
Man, how many people would you say live here?
30,000. So it was like 3 times the population
Shit. Okay, yeah.
that
wow.
hid there during World War II, which that's kind of a cool fact.
That's surprising Hitler didn't just roll in there and Mussolini.
Oh yeah, Mussolini. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they got to
backyard.
pass through that, and I don't know. I'd like to know more about how that worked out.
There's
but,
something going on here that we don't know.
Yeah, you're up to something, San Marino. I know there's something, but so one of the, like, just looking up famous people and trying to see like who came out of this place, who's a notable person you might know. The only thing that really came up was this guy Little Tony, who sounds like he'd be like a mobster, but he's actually a singer, and he's kind of like, I don't know. So he had a band called Little Tony and His Brothers, which actually were his brothers. And he's kind of like an Elvis meets like Barry Manilow meets
Interesting. Okay,
like-
so this is like in the 70s,
the
50s,
60s,
70s, something like
yeah, 50s, 60s, 70s. But he's just kind of like a big band singer who I guess was pretty big in Italy. If we had the computer hooked up, I'd show you this song because I've had it stuck in my head all fucking day since I started listening to this song. But
Sounds like it.
Is it in English or is it?
no, it's in Italian. But I was like, all right, what's Little Tony all about? And like
Pull up a spot.
he has a lot of ballads and kind of stuff that's not memorable.
What should we listen to though? What's
Bada
the song?
Bambina is the one that
Bada Bambina.
it's like
Sounds good.
it's a banger, dude. And, okay, so on the Liechtenstein episode, we talked about Hans. I don't know what his name was.
Zimmer?
Prince?
Yeah.
The guy with the music video.
The guy with the music video.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming back to that.
Another banger that we've discovered on CountryBoyz. He started acting in this weird subgenre of films that were like kind of like Elvis, like Blue Hawaii, and those
Right.
teen
Kid Galahad.
Like music-
teen
Musicals.
drama,
Yeah.
like everyone just dancing on the beach. So Little Tony, give a shout out to him.
Little Tony.
He's kind of like the big dog there as far as anybody you know.
Sounds like a pizza place.
Food and drink. Basically Italian. I mean, it is Italian.
Pizza.
They all say like, don't ever tell someone from San Marino they're Italian. It's like, yeah, okay, you speak Italian, you take the euro. You just have the benefits of wanting to claim it when you
Right.
don't. So they have like, it was a lot of dessert. So they have a dessert that's represents the three towers of the country. So like the three mountains, the
Tell me more.
cake of three mountains.
Yeah.
Is it like 3 different flavors or something, or what's the 3?
I think it just looks like three mountains.
Oh, okay.
A little
Um,
disappointed.
They have a fruit cake. It was a lot of sweets and then a lot of course, like pasta. But going into activities, so how I know San Marino a lot is from like soccer, like Euro qualifiers, because they always get spanked.
Yeah.
I think they just lost 10-0 to England.
Oh, that's why I heard it.
So they're always like playing these bigger teams.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
'cause they have to,
fine,
but-
whatever.
They never win.
Yeah.
They never like. There's some little countries who do well. San Marino's never one of them. So their soccer team is made up of plumbers, farmers. They've had one win in the last 25 years in like qualifiers,
Who did they
international. They beat the second episode we did, Liechtenstein.
Okay.
So they beat those Liechtensteiners.
Whoop-
First
whooping
win
them-
in
whooping them
25 years.
And how long ago was that one?
I think it was 2004, 2006.
Don't you get like kicked out if you don't win, or is that just the other leagues? Like if you're not good
No,
enough,
no.
you
So
get
this is
knocked out.
international.
Qualifying.
Oh, okay.
So the international
Yeah,
team,
got it.
they never lose. Like they can never get kicked out. They're always going to be a country. So they always have somebody representing them.
That should be a thing. If you don't, if
Yeah,
you can't
you
win it after 10 years, like you were no longer a country.
You're no longer a
You
country.
were downgraded.
Maybe that's how they'll lose their sovereignty.
You get to
I mean,
pick.
they made it this long,
You
but
get to pick a
It's a
country
soccer
bordering
team,
you that you will be annexed into,
yeah. And there's only one. You're.
and in like
Italian.
5 years you get one more shot.
Guess what? You're Italian.
And now you are.
They won against Liechtenstein, but like you were saying, going there, I always thought like, I could be a mediocre soccer player, but if I married or like moved into somehow gained citizenship in this micro country, you can be playing on the national team. It's all plumbers. That's how I always know about San Marino. It's just, that's the team that gets their ass kicked in European qualifiers. But
Sorry, San Marino.
they're also, one of these days they'll win. This is like the Mighty Ducks waiting to happen. They're gonna have some.
Emilio Esteves
Run.
coach show up.
Yeah, they're gonna have some guy who owes child support. He's kind of like
The big green
on his
machine.
last leg,
It's a
moves to
has-been.
San Marino,
Totally
starts a
redeems
team.
himself.
Look,
Gets a DUI. Gets sentenced to coach a little league team.
you gotta coach the national team of San Marino, and
If you don't, you get
you don't-
barred, disbarred.
we're gonna fuck you up. But they're the smallest country, like by size of population, to ever win an Olympic medal. They didn't win gold, they didn't win silver, but they did win bronze in shooting. In this country, they're big into guns and weapons. There's a lot of like shops where you can buy like, I don't know if they're real
Kinda
guns,
like
but
the
like
Texas of Italy. Maybe that's why nobody wants to invade them.
They are a
They're
republic. Yeah.
yeah. I don't like they have a lot of gun shops, but I don't think they're like, I don't think you can buy ammo. I think you can just buy guns,
Right.
which I don't know. That's what I kept seeing, so that's kind of funny.
That's weird.
Their national sport is crossbow, and they actually in the city they have like a crossbow range where there's guys dressed up in medieval uniforms firing crossbows at targets, and that's like, oh, these are our guards. Like, you don't want to fuck
Crossbow
with
was illegal in Europe for 400 years.
them. Not in San Marino though.
Yeah, that's probably another reason
They kept it alive.
because it goes through armor. So they're like, hey, it's like body armor nowadays. Like,
And the other thing with this place is they have a lot of museums. So there's a torture museum, a vampire museum, museum of curiosities, a passage of witches, which isn't a museum, but sounds like it should be, and then a museum of weapons and a museum of armor.
That sounds cool. It's like a straight up like medieval.
So it
city.
is like going to a medieval
Yeah.
city. You're kind of in Italy, but not. It's been its own thing. So
not
that's San Marino. This is a short and sweet one, right to the point. We just went through the basics again. Super tiny, but what's the verdict?
I mean,
You
I
going
could
there?
check it out. Yeah. I mean, is it? What's it like to get into the country? Is it hard to get in?
So no flights, no trains. You just got to drive.
Right.
You go to
Right.
Italy and then you just drive there.
But
Yeah.
it's a couple of kilometers from like the Adriatic coast. So if you're at
Right.
Rimini, which is like the town there, you're basically right there. So
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, Matt's going because he wants to become president.
I mean, that's partially
Yeah.
it. Avoid this unforeseen
I think
child.
Get
I
ahead
would-
of it.
I would
Just
definitely
get ahead
go.
of
It looks cool as
Don't
shit.
worry
I mean,
about
honestly, it looks really cool. I love Tacky Museum, so that's right up my
Yeah.
alley. So yeah, I'm
I've
definitely
always
in.
liked medieval stuff too. I mean, it sounds like it'd be pretty cool to go check this place out.
And apparently, if you're there, if you stay overnight, like a lot of people come during the day as tourists, but if you're there overnight, you have like the whole city to yourself.
Huh.
You're just in this medieval town, and you're in your own country. And who knows? You know, you might meet somebody. You might be able to be eligible and serve your 6 months as president, and then
We'll start that campaign soon.
Then walk your ass home.
and then get your ass
Yeah.
out of there.
6 months.
I'm down.
I'm down to go. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
museums for sure. Just I love tacky museums too.
I mean, you got to go to Italy to get here anyway, so might as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a quick conclusion, and I think, yeah,
We'll check out flights.
we'll definitely be going to San Marino.
Keep sending
real
those
soon.
donations in for us. We love that we're able to travel the world
Yeah,
because
but-
you guys
Um,
at home dig us so much and keep sending the money.
all right. So next time, I think we'll do a exclusive episode, a backyard episode for the first time going to South America.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go to I don't know if it's the smallest, but one of the smaller countries in South America. So we're gonna go to Suriname. Suriname.
All right. Sounds familiar.
And we'll be getting out of this awesome public studio and doing it in the backyard, getting a little crazy for that one. So
Nice.
we'll see you next time in Suriname.
See
All
ya.
right, guys.
Bye.
Ciao.